Hello, I'm DeDe. In this 30-minute yoga session, we'll perform a practice with an emphasis on lunges. Lunges strengthen and stretch our hips, as well as they call for better balance and better stability. Having stronger, more stable, more mobile hips can create better athletic performance, better balance, and it can allow us to move better in general. As usual, we'll do some additional mobility work toward the end, and here's what you'll need. A yoga mat if you're on a hard floor like I am. Turn it the same direction I have mine. A small towel, some water for hydration, as we always call for. You probably won't need your shoes or socks. Make sure you have plenty of room around, and remember to move at your own pace and skip the things that don't feel right for you, and I'll give you lots of modifications. All right, so we're going to stand and do a little bit of deep breathing. So stand with me, feet underneath your hips, knees are a little bit unlocked, pelvis is level and even, ribs are pulled in, shoulders are back, ears are over the shoulders. And then for just a moment, let's spiral the arms around so the palms are facing to the front. And then you can close your eyes here if you like. Let's breathe in as well as out through the nose. Now, as you stand, you might want to do a little bit of gentle motion just to create an evenly weighted situation across both of your feet. So your right foot is not heavier than your left, and your toes are not any heavier than your heels. So even though we're standing still, we're still actively standing in this position. Push your feet down, lift the crown of your head up a little bit. Just become a little bit more quiet and calm and introspective for a moment. Allow your eyes to open now if they were closed. Relax your arms a little bit more. They don't have to be spiraled this way. And then let's start with some alternating heel lifts. So one heel up and down, and then the other heel up and down. I don't know about you, but I feel lots of stretch across my toe joints, where my toes connect to my foot. I feel some stretch in my arch as well. See what you notice. So as we lift the heel, we're shifting the weight to the other foot. That's how we keep our balance. That's how we're able to do this at this slow pace. Let's add a shoulder roll now. As one heel comes up, that same side shoulder goes up and around. And then switch. You might want to inhale here and then exhale as everything comes down. And start to turn the torso just a little. If it throws you off balance to turn your head while you do this, then just keep your eyes forward. Let's start to lead with the elbow now. And then we'll make it a little bit bigger. Through the arm, through the shoulder. How about one more? Now the heels are down, the arms are down. Let's go up on our tiptoes, both and down. Inhale to come up and exhale to come down. Let's raise the arms a little bit. So some of our lunges are going to involve being on the tiptoes of the back foot. And so we're preparing our feet and our toes for that. We're also training balance right now and calf strength, ankle mobility. See if you can bring your arms up higher. Feel free to bend your elbows more if you need to. Let's do two more. One more. And then we're down. Now back to our feet. Let's circle this ankle around and then circle this ankle around. So a little different than just the tiptoes. A little bit different motion through the leg, from the hip, through the ankle. You might be able to feel the stretch differently as well. One more of those. Now we're standing back up tall, back into mountain pose. That was what we were in at first. Now keep your balance. Be near a wall or a sturdy chair or a countertop if you need to be. But otherwise, pick up one of your knees, touch the shin, and then bring it down. We'll do the other side. Pick it up, and touch, and bring it down. So you may want to exhale here and then inhale. Now let's flex the foot as the leg comes up. And then when we're down, the foot is flexed automatically, but flex the foot on the lifting leg. Let's open the arms up bigger. Inhale. Exhale. How are you doing with your balance today? Some days are better than others. Do you notice that? One thing I want you to pay attention to right now is that you're not rounding forward to pick up your leg. Try not to do this. Keep your shoulders back. Use your arms to pull the leg up higher if you can. All right, now I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing better. You might want to turn too. Move toward the front of your mat, and then we'll start with our right leg back first. So right leg moves back, and then it comes up, and the left leg moves back, and it comes up. Now, if you're comfortable doing it, you can reach your arms forward as you step your foot back. So you don't have to go back super far. And if your knees are okay with it, when you land, you can bend your back knee. Can your arms go up a little bit higher? So this is a backward stepping lunge, so we're already lunging. Let's do a few more of these. One more. All right, now, turning back toward me if you turned away, let's step into a wider stance. Turn the toes out a little bit. Sit back with your hips. And then inhale, raise the arms, straighten your knees. Exhale, sit back with your hips, hands on your legs. Couple of these. Make sure your toes have turned out to match the turnout of your knees. I have quite a bit of turnout, so my feet are turned out quite a bit. Make sure you're still able to be stable and balanced here. Inhale, and then exhale, and we stay here. Now inhale, exhale, drop one shoulder and twist. And then as you're ready to inhale, come back up. Let's go the other way. Lots of stretch happening here. Make sure you keep pushing your knees out. Stretch through the front of your shoulder. Stretch through the inner thighs. Can you feel that? One more to each side. Last one. All right, and then we come to the center. Let's tip forward and we'll hold here. So the back is straight. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that the back is even and neutral and straight, including the head, including the neck. You're still pushing the knees out wide. All right, now you may need your folded towel for this next position because we'll have our back knee down. So you'll probably want it somewhere toward the middle of your mat. Now let's turn this way. We'll come into this lunge and then we'll drop the back knee down onto the extra padding. Flatten your back foot out here. Now let's inhale and we'll sweep the arms open like a goalpost. And then we'll exhale and come down. Let's do it again. As you inhale, open up, keep your hips forward, and then exhale down. So the torso is moving, but the hips are staying pretty much forward of the back knee. One more. All right, and then we'll come down, pick up your back leg. Let's walk around to the other side. Your extra padding should be right where it needs to be. Make sure your front foot here has the knee over the ankle. Now bigger this time. Inhale a little bit higher with the arms if you can, and then exhale down. So we're focusing on our lunges today. Strengthening and stretching our hips simultaneously, creating stability, mobility, confidence, hopefully. It's always good to have that. How about one more over here? All right, and then we bring the hands down, we lift the back knee. For now, we don't need the extra padding, so you can move that. Let's turn right over to the other side. So here we are in an up lunge. So we're still forward, but our back knee is not down. You have the option to keep your back knee down here if you want. Let's be on the right fist, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, make your left arm into a goalpost, and as you exhale, turn. And then we'll do that again. So whichever arm this is for you, if it's your right arm or your left arm, the arm that's furthest away from me is the one that's twisting. And then one more. All right, let's make our way to the other side. Turning your feet, turning all the way around. Set yourself up in the best lunge that you can find. Front knee over the ankle. You're on the fist here, goalpost with your back arm. Let's inhale, and then exhale, twist, and we'll go again. Keep lengthening your neck out of your shoulders. Exhale, keep your back knee as straight as you can. And then one more. Now we're coming halfway around. So we're facing one another again. The feet are parallel. Now you can have your hands up on some stacked up books. You can have your hands up on some yoga blocks. You can have your hands on your shins, or you can have your hands on the floor. We want to turn the tailbone up as high as we can. We want to make sure that the backs of the legs are as straight as we can get them. Now, if you need a little bit of bend in your knees, having your hands up higher means you probably won't have to bend your knees. So that's a good option for you if your knees feel like they need to bend. Couple more breaths here. Remember, hands on the shins is a good option as well. All right, let's walk with our hands around to this side. On the tiptoes of your back foot, front knee over the ankle, hands on your hips if that helps you with balance. And then here we are, lifting the chest up. Let's tuck the elbows back behind, shoulder blades down your back. Now, can you drop your back knee a little bit lower, or is that too intense? Keep breathing. All right, and then we're rising up. Keep your balance here, turning right around to the other side. Make sure your feet are not on a tightrope. You still have them on a railroad track. Front knee stays in line with the ankle, sink down. Now, instead of arms back here, let's open the arms a little higher with the elbows bent, like a goalpost. And then find your focal point. Keep breathing. See if you can sink down a little lower. Can you feel a little bit of tension across your upper back? We want a little bit of tension there to help open the chest. How do your legs feel? Are they able to be stable and flexible at the same time? They're also getting stronger. All right, and then let's release that. Let's come up to the center. Walk your feet back in. Let's come right back to where we started a few moments ago in mountain pose. Eyes open or closed. Spiral your arms around. Ears over shoulders. Equal amounts of weight across both feet. Pelvis is even and level all the way around. Front ribs, especially, are pulled in. All right, let your eyes open. Now we're getting ready to do a single leg balance. So if you need to step off of your mat, that's always going to be a little easier for balance than being on your mat. Otherwise, you're on your mat. All right, lifting up your right knee, holding onto it with your hands, flexing your right foot, and standing tall. Now, if you're more comfortable with your foot down, that's fine. You can put your hands on your thigh. Try to get a little bit of balance here. Even just having your toes down is a little bit of balance. Do what you can here. All right, then we release. Try not to break your concentration. Let's do the other side. Use your arms, your strong arms, to help hold the leg where it needs to go. Remember, the option is here. Flex your foot on your lifted leg side. coexisting successfully for just a moment here on one leg, coexisting with gravity. All right, let's bring that foot down. Let's go again with the first leg. So here or here. Can you hold it with only one hand? See how it feels. Then you can take your other arm up and out. Still flexing your foot. Remember, this hand can be resting on something if you need more stability for your balancing. All right, let's bring the arm down and bring the leg down. And we'll switch. Start out with toes on the floor, both hands around the shin if you're going to lift your leg all the way up. And then if you feel okay with it, just one hand, then the other arm goes out. Remember, it doesn't matter if you can successfully balance without putting your foot down or holding on to something. All that matters is that you're practicing balance. You're getting a little better each time. Now let's release. Arm comes in, leg comes down. Now let's turn so we can be along the length of our mat here. Soften the knees, tip forward from the hip, coming all the way down. How far down can you go without rounding your back? Without rounding your back. Still supporting, hands on your shins. Maybe the hands are on your feet, maybe the hands are on the floor. Your neck and back are still long and straight. Now we'll move into child's pose next. So you may want the extra padding underneath your knees. You can separate your knees wider and you can stay forward like this in your child's pose. Or if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to come back further and down further if you're able. After all the lunging that we just did, it feels pretty restful to be down on the floor, doesn't it? If it doesn't feel restful in child's pose, try lying on your side, flat down on your stomach, or on your back. We're just going to be here for a moment. All right, let's bring ourselves out of the resting pose that we're in now, and we'll come to a seated position. Now, if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, I want you to be able to do these stretches. So maybe you feel more comfortable sitting up on your folded towel. If that's the case for you, then it looks like this. You're sitting right at the front edge of your folded towel, and that allows your pelvis to tip forward this way, and it allows you, in most cases, to sit up a little taller with less discomfort and greater ease. So we're bringing the soles of the feet together now. We're coming into cobbler's pose. If you need your feet further forward in order for your knees to drop, then by all means, bring your feet further forward. If none of this is working for you, feel free to carefully get up and sit in a chair, and then you can bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop open that way. Now you can have your hands in front. You can take your hands on your legs, or some people find it beneficial to have their hands behind them and to push their torso forward. So which of these works best for you? See how it feels. You should feel a tremendous amount of stretch in your inner thigh and groin area. Maybe you feel some stretch elsewhere, maybe in your low back or your hips. So we're holding these stretches for a longer period of time because what we're after here is flexibility. So holding 30 seconds or more is the best method. All right, now we're going to come up and we're going to move our feet further out in front of us. Not too much further, just a little bit further. And you may or may not need to sit on your folded towel. So this is my right leg here. It's going to stay in front, and this is my left leg here. So now we want our knees to be at 90 degrees on both sides. So that means the inner edge of your left foot, if you're doing right foot forward, is on the mat. The inner part of your knee, the outer part of your foot, and the outer part of your knee. It might not be touching the ground, and that's okay. Now on the side where your leg is back, your hip might be up a little bit. And if it feels more comfortable to tuck the towel under that part, then you'll do that. Now see if you can turn your chest toward your front shin, and then maybe you lean forward a little bit until you feel some stretch in the front leg, hip. So it's my right leg, so I'm feeling it in my right hip. Maybe you're not leaning forward. Maybe that's not working for you. All right, and then we'll sit up and we'll reverse what we're doing. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can keep your legs exactly as they are and then just flip around like this, or you can take your front leg and bring it to the back. Your back leg, bring it to the front. I'm going to do it this way. So I'll find my 90-90, and then I'll turn toward whatever leg is in front. Maybe I'll add my folded towel under my back leg, hip. Maybe you need it under your knee. Maybe you need it not at all. See how it feels. So we're encouraging our torso to move in the direction of our front shin. Encouraging. I like that word because it means you're not forcing. It means that you're inviting that to happen, but not insisting. Can you feel the stretch in your hip? Maybe elsewhere? Now let's bring ourselves back up. I'm going to turn back around since I got there by turning. And then we'll come back to our cobbler's pose. That's this one. If you'd like to install this towel back underneath your hips, you can. Now straighten your right leg out, flex your foot, and then let's hip hinge forward a little bit. Now, just like earlier, you have the option of having your hands back, alongside you, or forward. Keeping your back and your neck long and straight. I know it's tempting to do this, but instead of doing that, work on sitting up and then getting ever so slightly further forward while maintaining your upright, neutral spine. Flexing your foot, pulling the top of the foot back. Now let's come up and we'll switch. Can you feel the stretch down the back of your straight leg? By the way, if you need a little bend in your knee, feel free to take that. All right, let's come up. So come to a comfortable seated position now. And just relax. So how do you feel? Do your hips feel a little more open? Maybe your legs and hips are a little tired from all the lunging. Just know that it's hard work doing lunging, but it's so worth it to have better stability, flexibility, and strength in our hips, as well as better balance. Those things are really important. And it's worth a little bit of hard work, right? So thank you for being here with me and working hard and doing your lunges. And thank yourself for being here and treating yourself well. I'll see you next time.